The movie kicks off with Matt jolting awake from a nightmare. As he checks the door, he discovers a letter and a package of supplies for his sick wife, Claire, sent by his brother Harry. He takes a moment to watch Claire, who is lying in bed. Hungry, Matt asks Harry if there's anything to eat. Harry, distracted by talking about how fast bananas spoil, is interrupted by Gwen's arrival. Matt leaves, telling Harry to be ready. Gwen, a nurse, checks on Claire and learns she's feeling a bit better and wants to make some music today. However, when Gwen tries to stop her from going to the studio, Claire reveals she has sold it. Suddenly, Claire panics as Gwen approaches to collect her blood sample. Matt calms her down, promising no more chemo. After Gwen takes the sample, Matt leads her out for a chat. Gwen asks why he called her for the sample, and Matt nervously explains. Gwen reassures him that Claire won't see any records online. Meanwhile, Harry sneaks into Claire's room while Matt distracts Gwen with talk about his nightmares. Before Gwen can get more details, Harry returns and makes an excuse for Gwen to leave, saying Claire is busy in the bathroom. Once she's gone, Harry hands the stolen blood sample to Matt, questioning his intentions. Matt doesn't answer and instead suggests dealing with Gwen later. Matt then heads to a bar where Lily, the bartender, asks about Claire but stops when she notices Matt's distress. Matt asks about her mother and feels sad when he learns she has Alzheimer's, making Lily seem like a stranger to her own mother. Just then, Al arrives and greets Matt. Matt asks if he brought the bag and to put it in his car, but Al refuses. He questions if Matt really wants to go through with the ritual. In the next scene, Matt and Al are seen dragging the bag into the basement, hiding it from Claire and Harry. After hiding the bag, Al walks Matt through the ritual. They start by lighting a candle and placing it on the floor. Al then instructs Matt to pour Claire's blood into the bag and make a wish for her. He explains the rules: don't talk to, look at, or touch the bag for 3 days. The next day, Matt listens to Claire's new music. It's haunting, beautiful, and terrifying. Claire mentions she wants it to be parasitic, and Matt tells her she's nailed it. Later, Claire asks what he's doing in the basement, since Harry hasn't told her anything. Matt makes a joke, and Claire ends up puking, feeling sad and telling Matt he deserves better. Before Matt leaves, Claire presses him again about the basement. Matt vaguely says he's found something that might solve their problems, but at an unknown cost. Claire doesn't take him seriously. That night, Matt performs the ritual, wishing for the bag to heal Claire. As he leaves the room, his lighter slips inside. Though scared, he retrieves it with his eyes closed. As Matt exits, a mysterious creature stirs inside the bag. The next day, Harry works on Claire's studio and asks Matt why they stopped her chemo. Matt, annoyed, tells him to focus on the studio. Matt hears Claire calling for him but initially ignores it. When he checks, he finds her asleep. Unable to reach Al, Matt gets a strange phone call that disconnects after hearing Claire's giggles. While making breakfast, he's distracted by noises from his AI assistant. Listening closely, he hears Claire repeatedly saying, "Is it happening again?" That night, Matt and Claire talk about her music. She reveals she's inspired by the noble rot fungus used in Riesling wine they once had. Impressed, Matt asks if she's been smoking, but she brushes it off. Later that night, Matt wakes up to the sound of whispering. He checks the door but finds no one there. As he heads back, he hears noises from the vents and rushes to Claire's room. Finding her awake, he asks if she was whispering, but she says no. Matt watches Claire until he falls asleep, only to be woken by a phone call. He hears Claire's voice, taunting him about her chondrosarcoma and the pain she's in, saying he can't do anything but stare at her. Stunned, he looks at Claire, still sleeping peacefully in front of him. Downstairs, Matt joins Harry, who's playing golf and talking about his ex-wife, Amy. Harry reveals she had a son who died of neuroblastoma. Amy spiraled after his death, seeing him everywhere for months. Harry doesn't want Matt to end up like that. Accidentally, Harry hits the ball into the spare room with the bag. Matt stops him from going in, but when Harry insists, Matt gets angry and leaves. Despite Matt's warning, Harry enters the room to get the ball and stares suspiciously at the bag. Moments later, Matt hears Claire's voice and sees her standing before him making a creepy gesture. He turns on the lights, and she vanishes. Later, Matt is smoking alone when he spots Peggy staring at him. He tries to approach her, but she walks away, making the same eerie gesture. When Matt returns home, he finds Claire trying to stand up. He feels a surge of hope, thinking she's getting better. But then Claire pukes, and Matt is horrified to see blood in the bucket. When he looks again, everything seems normal. Matt confronts Harry about the bag in the spare room, furious that he went inside. He demands Harry leave him alone. Confused, Harry wanders off and runs into Claire. She thanks him for being around and asks him why she quit chemo, but Claire changes the subject, asking Harry to look after Matt when she's gone. She borrows his vape and smokes as he leaves. Matt is with Claire when she asks him to go outside, but he refuses, promising her an outing once it gets warmer. Suddenly, he notices a mysterious figure resembling Claire doing creepy things, so he decides to get Claire ready to go outside. They pause in the living room, reminiscing about the good times they spent there. Matt feels a pang of sadness and, as he approaches the window, spots Peggy waving at him. Panicked, he quickly takes Claire back to her room, ignoring calls from an unknown number. Later, Matt receives a package. Inside, he finds a bunch of hair. Moving it aside, he's horrified to see a head that screams at him. He throws the package away and breaks down, crying over a shattered picture of him and Claire. Desperate, he tries to reach out to Al but gets no response. The next morning, Matt is making breakfast when Claire joins him, saying she feels better and wants to help. Matt is hopeful, thinking the ritual worked. But he notices unsettling changes in Claire's body and tries to ignore them. When he turns his back, Claire mentions the changes she feels. Her creepy hands on his shoulder terrify Matt, and he realizes the real Claire is standing in front of him. Frustrated, Claire leaves when Matt tries to talk to her. That night, Matt checks on her and gets a phone call filled with Claire's eerie giggles. He hears a knock at the door and cautiously opens it to find Harry, who has come back for him. They have a deep conversation, and Matt finally opens up about his sadness over Claire. He talks about their plans and how he tried everything: support groups, therapy, church, but nothing helped. He feels empty inside. Harry, confused but supportive, reassures him that he's there for him. Matt returns to see Claire and is thrilled to find she has accomplished the impossible. He dials 911 but finds himself confronted by the same woman who has been haunting him as Claire. She accuses him of killing her and turning the blade on himself. Matt is bewildered as the woman blames him for Claire's death. She tells him to look at his hands, and he's shocked to see a blade in his grasp. Suddenly, he wakes up, realizing it was all a dream. Claire appears before Matt, insisting he join her in bed. As they lie together, Claire reminisces about the old days, and they grow closer. Just as things heat up, Claire abruptly leaves for the bathroom. While she's gone, Matt gets a call from her and assumes it's a pocket dial. Confused when she demands another drink, he checks the bathroom and finds a dirty fluid all over the sink. Rushing back to Claire, he accuses her of pranking him. Claire, bewildered, tells Matt to go back to his room. Losing his cool, Matt warns her about her health, and Claire, frustrated, furiously asks him to leave her alone. Stepping out, Matt sees Peggy provoking him to chase her. He follows her to a house where she plays hide and seek, leading him to a room with the sacked bag. Terrified, Matt ends up next to the bag, and Peggy disappears. Matt returns home, more confused than ever. Suddenly, a monstrous version of Claire tries to scare him, but Matt stands his ground and it retreats. The next day, Matt can't find Claire anywhere. She calls him downstairs, and he is thrilled to see her walking. Claire is humbled and grateful when she sees the home studio, thanking Matt. He tells her she can create her masterpieces here for the rest of her life. Claire, however, says she is dying but is happy to have a good day. Matt insists she's fine and that the ritual worked, telling her she looks beautiful. This saddens Claire, and she tells him she's still in pain and that what he's done hasn't helped. She asks him to come back to her, but Matt gets a call from Gwen, who complains about the missing blood sample. Meanwhile, Claire enters the spare room and touches the sack, worsening her condition. Matt quickly brings her back to bed, worried and desperate. Matt drags the heavy sack out, telling Al he's bringing it back. He arrives at the bar, but loses his cool when Lily says she's never seen Al. She calms him down and asks her boss about Al but finds no information. She updates Matt, who then asks her about her mother. As she shares her feelings, a thought strikes her. She remembers Al's address from the address book. Matt arrives at Al's door and is shocked to see Peggy waiting for him. She lets him in and leads him to the waiting room, explaining her father is finishing up in the basement. She offers him tea, and as she prepares it, Matt overhears her giggling and sneaks up on her. They share the tea, and Matt asks if she's been around his house, since he's seen her there. Peggy replies she's seen him in her dreams because he and Claire are special. Before she can explain further, Al arrives and calls her back, sending her to the basement. Al wonders how Matt found him but ignores the question when Matt starts sharing his struggles. Al warns him he's broken the rules but insists it's important that he completed the ritual. Rules don't matter. He cautions Matt about the sacrifices he'll have to make for his wife, mentioning Matt hasn't yet paid half the cost of his wish. Matt hears noises from the basement, and Al lets him check it out. Matt is horrified to see Peggy acting like a monster. Al says goodbye and advises him to put his wife in the sack after she dies. Matt returns home to find Harry waiting. He asks Harry to leave and is devastated to find Claire dead in bed. Breaking into tears, he pulls himself together and asks Harry for help. Harry assists him with the sack and asks what's inside, but Matt doesn't know either. After placing it next to Claire's bed, Matt asks Harry to help put Claire's body inside. Harry refuses, but Matt, in his grief, punches him. Harry tries to fight back but stops, seeing Matt's pain. Matt puts Claire's body in the bag and cries when nothing happens. Matt loses his mind while Harry watches, heartbroken by his suffering. Suddenly, the bag starts moving, and Harry is thrilled. Matt rushes over when he hears Harry scream and finds him gasping for breath. The monster from the bag emerges and chases Matt, who tries to hide but can't. Desperate, Matt locks himself in a bathroom but gets distracted by a call from Gwen. As the monster breaks in, Matt hits his head and is knocked out. When he comes to, the monster is beside him. As Matt tries to escape, the monster speaks with Claire's voice, thanking him for saving its life. Terrified, Matt is kissed by the monster, which poisons him. Matt calls Gwen for help. She arrives quickly and finds Matt acting strangely. When she asks about Harry, Matt lies and invites her for tea. Over tea, Gwen encourages him to accept Claire's fate, but Matt remains detached. He talks about making a wish by plucking an eyelash, but Gwen dismisses it. Before leaving, she insists on checking on Claire, and Matt allows it. Gwen enters the room, but Claire is nowhere to be found. As she turns around, the monster attacks and kills her mercilessly. Matt watches and walks away. Later, Matt is at Lily's bar, offering her a solution to her mother's illness in the form of the sacked bag. He tells her to get it within an hour. Lily is happy for him, and Matt orders drinks for two. He joins Claire at a table, and as they share drinks, the movie ends.